Hey there, everybody. Let's plan this week in my memory planner, which is a big happy planner. And I have done some printables yet again. I'm telling you guys, these are so easy. And so is printing my photos. I use the Pick Frame app and then I print them on my Canon Selfie, all of it using my phone. Now, those printables, you purchase them, the link comes in your email, you open it, it downloads the file, you open that file up, you hit print, and they print out. That is it. I do resize mine in the print dialog box to 75%. It will show 100%, but I change it to 75. And then these are almost exactly the same size as my boxes in my Big Happy Planner. They're ever so slightly bigger, but you all know that I'm not really that bothered. I don't need them to be perfect, but if you do, it lends tons of extra room to just trim them down a little bit. Like you see right there, even that purple one with a lot of design on it, you would have the room needed to trim it down to fit snugly in those boxes. Those are the three main decorative elements we're going to use this week. I am also going to use that patterned skull and crossbones as well, so that's why I trimmed that little edge off so I could get my paper punch in there. Now that I've got my photos, I'm going to lay them out just really roughly based on the date. You can see that I've left the date on the little strip that I pull off. I do this because I have a bad memory and I want to remember approximately the date that these things happened. So you can see right there, I'm going to start adhering them down. I'm not completely particular about the days that, keeping the photos on the days that they happened on, but I do think that if I'm able to, I do keep them on the days that they happened. So photos like, say, my cat or my son playing with my dog, it's probably not imperative most of the time that they stay on the day that they were taken, but if they can, then it works out fine. So it also just gives me some easy parameters to organize the page. I am using the Scotch ATG gun for my adhesive. I think it is a super heavy duty adhesive, and because I've been scrapbooking for 19 years, I know that not all adhesives are created equal. So I want to make sure that this stuff sticks around, so that's why I use this adhesive. It is actually really, really inexpensive. Once you purchase the gun itself, the refills are very inexpensive. It can be a little tricky at first, but to refill, that is. So you can see a little bit there how my boxes are ever so slightly more narrow than the printables. And then I'm going to punch out that little skull and crossbones, and just layer it with that cute little Halloween scene over there. And I'm going to trim this bad boy down, not because I mind, but because it wasn't fitting very well. And since it's sitting right up next to the discs, I wanted to make sure that it fit a little bit better. But you can see it really only took the slightest bit of trimming, and it is the perfect size for the Big Happy Planner. Now, these are printables also from In a Creative Bubble, and it's actually the same thing as the others. You open it and print it. I leave these at 100%, so literally I could open the file and hit print. I also cut these out. I think I used the print and cut on my Cameo Silhouette, but all of these files are also able to be hand cut, and I've done that 100 times before, so it's not a big deal to cut them with scissors either. And sometimes I actually don't mind it, like if you're watching TV or if I'm sitting in my car at a practice, I don't mind cutting it with scissors at all. So I think that they both have their pluses and minuses. So now I've got the bulk of my decor down. As you can see, we're not finished. I haven't finished decorating, nothing like that. But I kind of wanted to take a look at what I had for activity stickers and also then where they would go. I wasn't 100% sure on how all of these things would get laid down. So I wanted to start that process just before I adhered some of these things. Now this is an old 4x6 patterned paper from Studio Calico. I will look and see if they still sell something like this. I'm not sure that they do actually. I mean, these are several years old that I have. I'm punching out a circle though so I can layer that. Look at that down there. I just love it, like that tone on tone too, because the punched piece is a light blue and then the background of that house is light blue. And I just love the way that those two blend together. So now we've got 3 elements, but to be honest, I don't love the layout, but I'm not moving anything because I like where those things are there. So I know I just need to add a little bit more in order to make it something that I do like. So enter in the black grid washi tape. I love, love, love the grid washi tape. If you're new here, it's about the only washi tape I use with any consistency, and I just love it. It's super neutral, but it absolutely adds impact. So I'm just going to adhere those. Look at the layering there. Just adding 2 little things. This one tiny little sticker right there. Well, I guess it's not a sticker, and the washi tape really changed the dynamic of that little cluster, and I love it. All right, so now we're adding more little things as we work our way to the right, like for example, that cute little pumpkin, and then adhering down that cluster in the top as well. And again, I'm really just trying to make some of these things all come together, and that's where the washi tape comes in because it adds another decorative element and oftentimes just fills out a cluster. And as we all know, washi tape is really generally fairly inexpensive. And so, especially when you buy it in a set like this, it was really only a few dollars for, I want to say that I got like 7 or 8 rolls, and maybe it was $7 or $8. And I really just feel like it makes a big impact in the overall design. So I'm just adding those there. Look at how that washi also helps sort of look like a ribbon, like in that bottom one down there. I think it's pretty cute. So now we're going to layer one more thing up at the top. I'm just not 100% sure. I've got to go through the die cuts up. Bingo, we've got a winner. Sometimes the first one isn't the right one. Sometimes you've got to go with the second one to make it perfect. So now we've got all of the decorative elements pretty much figured out. And the thing is that we have still, I need to add the activity little boxes like I did right there. And so we've got that. And then after that, I need to add my journaling. But first, let's look through, make sure I have all of the boxes I need. So I usually use half boxes more often than not. It has the most room for me to write the things because I'm still writing down my activities. I know this is not how most people memory plan, but short backstory, the reason I started planning creating a memory planner was because I thought that it was a really cool way to remember how busy we were. My oldest son was just starting high school. And so I knew that having 3 school-age kids, a middle schooler, a high schooler, and an elementary school-age kids, all that play sports and those kinds of things, I knew I would never be this busy again. And it would be super easy to forget all of the fun stuff that we did. So enter my memory planner. So that's why I continue to add these little boxes. I suppose someday I might forgo them, but honestly, I really love the way that it is, so I doubt that I probably will. So we've got all those boxes down. That's all I did. And I'm going to fill them back in. I'm just using a Papermate Flare pen. They do smear ever so slightly on these stickers if you're not careful. So I need to remember to just give it a second to dry. I mean, it's probably completely dry in less than 30 seconds. I just have to have a little bit of patience, and then that way I don't have to pull out a special pen or use like a ballpoint pen or anything like that. So we'll just fill in all those activities and practices and things that we have going on. All right, so now we can put the journaling lines in. Something that I picked up from my journal last week or the week before was using my mild liners to create the lines for my journaling. I mean, it seems so complicated, but you can see right there the pop of color is amazing. I absolutely love it. So I'm using this purple. It's not a perfect match, but it really does work well enough. And I just love, love, love the way that that comes together. So I'm just going to add lines throughout the page in all the different little places. I don't have room for a big cluster this week, which is what I ordinarily do, is like a couple of big clusters. So instead, I'm just going to have a whole bunch of little clusters of journaling, really a little bit more geared towards each photo and those types of things. So We are working through that, just adding those journaling. I'm using a Papermate Flare pen. It is my favorite. I have gone back and forth and used about 400 different pens, and in the end, I always come back to the Flare. I feel like for my handwriting and for my personal comfort, it works best. Now look at that. See, it's so cool. I think it just really turned out great. It's sort of highlighting the journaling, but then also adding that really awesome pop of color with a highlighter, something that I already have in my stash. I didn't have to buy anything or anything like that. So that is it. I'm just going to finish up my journaling, and I'm going to add some alphabet stickers right here too. I'm going to spell out the word after because my son got braces, and so I have a before and an after photo. So I am going to line them up on the line, which you guys know, I typically keep it a little bit more casual just because well, first of all, it's a lot harder to get things lined up super straight. And then second of all, I really like the really super casual feel of bouncing the letters. And so that's what I typically do. But you have to do it the way that it appeals the most to you. But that really is it. I'm just going to finish up the journaling, and this week will be finished. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you have any comments, please leave me a question or comment in the box below, and I will do my best to get back to you. Thanks so much, and make it a great day.